Hi students, welcome to VMR Logics. I'm Srilata from Admin Department. ఈ రోజు నేను మీ ముందుకు ఒక గుడ్ న్యూస్ తో వచ్చాను. అదేంటంటే గ్రూప్ 4 లైవ్ క్లాసెస్. ఇప్పటివరకు మీరు అన్ని రికార్డెడ్ వీడియోస్ విన్నారు. ఫస్ట్ టైం గ్రూప్ 4 లైవ్ క్లాసెస్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తున్నామండి. మీరు ఎంత దూరంలో ఏ ప్రాంతంలో ఉన్నా కూడా ఇక్కడ దిల్సుఖ్ నగర్లో ఆఫ్లైన్లో జరిగే క్లాసెస్ మీ ఇంటి దగ్గర నుండే మీరు వినొచ్చు. యాక్చువల్గా ఈ కోర్స్ ప్రైస్ 5400 రూపీస్ అండి. ఇప్పటివరకు మనం లైవ్ క్లాసెస్ పైన ఎప్పుడూ ఆఫర్స్ ఇవ్వలేదు. ఫస్ట్ టైం మనం లైవ్ క్లాసెస్ పైన ఆఫర్స్ ఇస్తున్నాము. ఈ కోర్స్ ప్రైస్ జస్ట్ 2000 రూపీస్, 5 months వ్యాలిడిటీ. మీకు ఆఫర్ 9th March to 14th March వరకు అవైలబుల్గా ఉంటుంది. ఇదే కాకుండా మనం ఎస్ఐ కానిస్టేబుల్ లైవ్ క్లాసెస్ కూడా స్టార్ట్ చేస్తున్నాము. ఇందులో మీకు రికార్డెడ్ వీడియోస్, ఆల్రెడీ లైవ్ క్లాసెస్ జరిగిన ఆ లైవ్ క్లాసెస్ అండ్ ఇప్పుడు ప్రజెంట్ ఇక్కడ జరుగుతున్న లైవ్ క్లాసెస్ కూడా మీకు ఈ కోర్స్లో యాడ్ అవుతాయి. ఈ కోర్స్ ప్రైస్ జస్ట్ 999 రూపీస్, 3 months వ్యాలిడిటీ ఉంటుంది. ఆఫర్ 9th March to 14th March వరకు అవైలబుల్ ఉంటుంది. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Hello everyone, welcome all of you. Welcome to VMR Logics. Or what is the role performed by this drafting committee? Means, guys, I'll just tell you, in this Constituent Assembly, members visited to different countries. They again came back. They came and after there is an elaborate discussion. For suppose a people who studied about the fundamental rights, they will say these are the good things associated with the fundamental rights. So that is why we want to incorporate these fundamental rights into Indian Constitution. Then another set of people who don't want to have this fundamental right, they will start arguing that we don't want this fundamental right because so and so are the problems. Likewise, on every aspect, for suppose a person, people who went to USA, they may support presidential system. People who went to Britain, they may support parliamentary system. So people will speak on behalf of presidential system, people will speak on behalf of parliamentary system, pros and cons. So likewise, for each and every provision there will be an elaborate discussion. After elaborate discussion, there will be put for voting. So fundamental rights discussion completed, that will be put for voting. Majority people are saying yes, okay, that will be passed. Parliamentary type of system, discussion completed, majority people were opting for parliamentary system, okay, parliamentary system. Next, fundamental duties, do we require or not? So there is no discussion at all. DPSPs, do we require or not? So after each and every discussion, there will be voting, and depending on the voting, finally the constitution will be finalized by something called as drafting committee. That means drafting committee is like an editor. See, generally the movie will be made for 3 to 3.5 hours, but which is required and which is not required, the bits will be cut from the movie, so that the 3.5 hours movie can be brought down to 2.5 hour movie. So what is required, what is not required, what is to be eliminated, what is not to be eliminated, everything is decided by the drafting committee, and the chairman of this drafting committee is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So that is why he is the person behind bringing the constitution. So hence he is called as father of the Indian Constitution. Ambedkar is called as what? Father of the Indian Constitution, because of his important work, because of his important role played by the Ambedkar. Okay now, so these are some important major committees. So another important and major important committee is Rules Committee. Rules and Steering Committee. Rules Committee and also Steering Committee. So who is the chairman of this Rules Committee and Steering Committee is nothing but Dr. Rajendra Prasad. So Dr. Rajendra Prasad is the chairman of Rules Committee and also Steering Committee. So in this manner there are few major committees, and similarly there are also certain minor committees also. There are also what? Certain minor committees also. Then what are these certain minor committees? For suppose if we go on discussing, there is an ad hoc committee, ad hoc, ADHOC, ad hoc committee on national flag, ad hoc committee on national flag, that is Dr. Rajendra Prasad. I am just writing it as RP, means Rajendra Prasad. Similarly, second one, ad hoc committee on Supreme Court, ad hoc committee on Supreme Court, this was presided by Varadachari. And the third one, functions of the Constituent Assembly, functions of Constituent Assembly Committee. C.A means Constituent Assembly. So functions of Constituent Assembly Committee. Who is the chairman? That is nothing but G.V. Mavalankar. G.V. Mavalankar. Mavalankar is the chairman. I am just writing in a shortcut manner. G.V. Mavalankar is the chairman of functions of Constituent Assembly. Next, Business Committee. And next will be the Business Committee will be K.M. Munshi. The chairman of Business. Excuse me. Next, Credentials Committee. Chairman of Credentials Committee. Credentials Committee chairman is Krishna Swami Iyer. Alladi Krishna Swami Iyer. Similarly, Linguistic Provinces Committee. There is something called as Linguistic Provinces Committee. Then who is the chairman of this Linguistic Provinces Committee? That is nothing but S.K. Dhar. S.K. Dhar. So he is also the chairman of first Linguistic Provinces Committee, S.K. Dhar. So in this manner, there will be certain minor committees also. So there will be a major committee, there will be a minor committee. So the entire 389 members, after Pakistan got separated, the strength of these 389 members came down to 299, and these 299 members have played a very crucial role for framing the constitution by themselves dividing into a major committees and minor committees, and each committee will be having a certain chairman. And who is the chairman of so and so committee? The questions can be asked in that manner. Okay, now so these are the thing. And see, there is another committee also, another important committee, House Committee. Another important committee, House Committee. The chairman of this House Committee is nothing but Pattabi Sitharamaiah. Chairman of this committee is nothing but Pattabi Sitharamaiah. Pattabi Sitharamaiah is the chairman of this House Committee, and who is also the founder of Andhra Bank. Okay, staunch follower of the Gandhi. Okay, so these are the 7 important minor committees. Okay, so we have discussed about major committees, minor committees, and they have visited for different countries, and they have met every time. So that is why there were 11 sessions in the Constituent Assembly. They discussed each and every provision elaborately, and that was finalized by the drafting committee chairman, that is nothing but the Ambedkar, and also the following members. And next thing is that, see, in 1947, August 14th, Pakistan got separated from India, and in 1947, August 15th, India got the independence. August 14th, Pakistan got separated from India, and August 15th, India got the independence. So which areas did Pakistan got separated? That means Northwest Frontier Province. Northwest Frontier Province, Sindh. Northwest Frontier Province, Sindh, Baluchistan. Northwest Frontier Province, Sindh, Baluchistan, and also, East Pakistan, which is also called as East Bengal, and also West Punjab. Okay, and also Shillette from Assam district. Shillette was separated from Assam district. So Northwest Frontier Province, Sindh, Baluchistan, East Pakistan, West Punjab, Shillette. So these are the areas of India separately carved out to become what? Pakistan. So when Pakistan got separated, the strength of the Constituent Assembly also came down from 389 to 299. 389 to how much? 299. And in this 299, 229 members. In this 229 members are from what? Means these people are from the British ruled areas. 229 members are from British ruled areas, and 70 members are from the princely states. So 229 members are from the British ruled areas, 70 members are from the princely states. So totally how much are there? 299 members were there. So this is how they got reduced. And see, when India got independence, see, before 1947, August 15th, 1947 August 15th, Constituent Assembly was there, but India's administration is in the hands of British. But August 15th later, in whose hands the administration should be kept? So administration should be carried on whose name? So who should rule? Because generally there can be elections. After elections, the ruling party or somebody will come, they start ruling. Then what about this one? Who can rule? There is a question mark. So the Constituent Assembly has got two important duties to perform after the independence. The first condition, the first one is to frame the constitution. What is the first one? To frame. The first one is to frame the constitution. So this is as usual, the main role of the Constituent Assembly is to frame the constitution. And the second one is to administer the country. The second one is what? To administer the country. And so that means the same Constituent Assembly got two duties to discharge, that is to frame the constitution and to administer the country. So whenever the Constituent Assembly members met to frame the constitution, Dr. Rajendra Prasad used to preside. What? Who? Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Dr. Rajendra Prasad used to preside whenever they have met to frame the constitution. Next, they can also meet to administer the country, to discuss about making new rules and regulations required for the country. They can also come together to frame new rules for the country. So whenever they came together, whenever they assembled together to frame rules and regulations, G.V. Mavalankar. So who used to preside? G.V. Mavalankar used to preside. So G.V. Mavalankar used to preside whenever Constituent Assembly met to discuss about administration of the country. Dr. Rajendra Prasad used to preside whenever Constituent Assembly met to frame the constitution. So that is why the role of the Constituent Assembly has increased further. Up till when the Constituent Assembly came together to administer the country means up till first general elections 1952 got completed. So from 1947 to 1952, the meanwhile the government is called as interim government. So the government, we will call it as what? Interim government. So that means until unless the original government comes, we will call this as a interim government. So to this interim government, so Jawaharlal Nehru acted as a prime minister, and there were several other ministers like John Mathai is the finance minister, Jagjeevan Ram is the railway minister, so Morarji Desai. So likewise there are different types of people who are there who were acted as the ministers. Okay. So this is the interim government. So this is the role of the Constituent Assembly. And finally, Constituent Assembly by discussing all these factors. So they have completed the constitution on 1949 November 26th. This 1949 November 26th is celebrated as Constitution Day from 2015. As BJP government came into existence, they started recognizing November 26th as the Constitution Day. So 1949 November 26th, we have adopted our constitution. What have we done? We have adopted our constitution. When did we adopted our constitution? 1949 November 26th. But when did our Indian constitution came into existence means 1950 January 26th. 1950 January 26th is the date when Indian constitution came into existence. So came into existence. When did it came into existence? That is, when did it came into existence? 1950 January 26th. See, November 26th completed, and why did they wait for 2 other months? So the reason is, in 1930, historically we are having an important day. In 1930, we have celebrated a day which is called as Purna Swaraj. 1930, we have celebrated a day which is called as Purna Swaraj. So in order to remember this day, in order to commemorate this day, to recognize this day, November 26th was postponed to January 26th. I'll just tell you one thing. See guys, for suppose you got an opportunity to go to some place by today or tomorrow, January 5th or January 6th or January 10th. But on January 15th, you might be having your birthday or you might be having your anniversary or something. So instead of going on January 10th, you plan for going on January 15th. Why? Because January 10th is not having any significance. If you go on January 15th, it will be like you can celebrate your anniversary over there, and it will be like remembering your anniversary with more memories. So likewise, you will postpone your trip. Yes or no? In the same manner, we completed framing the constitution on November 26th, but we extended it till when? January 26th. And there are also certain important facts associated with the Constituent Assembly. That is 1947 July 22nd. 1947 July 22nd. What is the importance of this day? That is national flag. So we have adopted what? Our national flag. So initially our national flag used to have charaka in middle. Charaka. Pingali Venkaya, the flag that was designed by him, used to contain charaka in middle. But later on, in the place of charaka, we got Ashoka Chakra, which is around blue color in nature, that will be present in the midst of the flag. That national flag was adopted on 1947 July 22. Next, 1950 January 24th. 1950 January 24th. Three important things were done. That is national anthem. National anthem. National anthem, and the other thing is national song. National anthem, national song, and Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was appointed as the president in the year, which year? January 24th. And next, our constitution is represented with an elephant. What? Our constitution is represented with what? Elephant. Next, the constitutional advisor is nothing but B.N. Rao. B.N. Rao is the constitutional advisory, and the constitution was written in both English and Hindi languages. Okay, so in which language is this constitution written? Both English. So this was written in both English and Hindi. Okay, now next to this constitution book, a beautiful calligraphy, a beautiful painting was done in the midst of the pages by Prem Bihari Rai Zada. Prem Bihari Rai Zada is the person. So he has written that one. In Hindi, you know, another person who is known as Vasant Kishan Vaidya. Vasant Kishan Vaidya and Prem Bihari Rai Zada. In English, Prem Bihari Rai Zada. In Hindi, Vasant Kishan Vaidya. So with a beautiful, you know, the way of writing, you know, the depiction will be there. Cursive writing, normal writing. So in a beautiful manner that was written, and you know, that was completely decorated in Hindi by Prem Bihari Rai Zada, and other thing is Vasant Kishan Vaidya. So these are the important facts associated with these things. Okay, now next, if we look at this one, okay, so these are the things we have discussed about. Making of the constitution, 1927, initially Simon Commission used to there. Birkenhood has challenged India. Then Motilal Nehru has prepared a report which is called as Nehru Report. In order to recognize that, in 1928 he was made as the president of the INC, Calcutta session. Next, for the first time, who demanded means M.N. Roy. So as a political party, later on who demanded means INC. So if the question is asked, which political party is the first to ask or to demand the Constituent Assembly, that is nothing but Swaraj. Swaraj is the party which demanded it for the first time. Okay, so then in 1938, Jawaharlal Nehru, in a session which was presided by the Subhash Chandra Bose, he has demanded a Constituent Assembly which is to be framed only by the Indians. Next, So what I compared the constitution with doing research in the college. So the constitution, it should include all the people, it should represent the diversity, it should reduce the conflict. For suppose if we write something means it should not be in a situation like Muslims of this country should not feel discriminated that this constitution is favoring only Hindus, or else Sikh people in this country should not feel that this constitution is making favor to only these people. The greatness of our constitution is that anytime, most of the time, politicians, any people, anybody, they have criticized against themselves in a very greater manner, but nobody has criticized our Indian constitution, because our Indian constitution is written in such a manner that it is representing the aspirations of each and every people in this country, downtrodden people to completely upward caste people, everybody, whatever they say, but they will not criticize our constitution. So around 75 years are going to come to reach our constitution, but still the constitution is working in a very, very perfect manner. Many people have criticized that our constitution will come to an end, it will not survive for too long, but still it has completely removed all the expectations of many other people, wrong expectations, and it has stood against itself. If you see many countries, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, so many countries are struggling to keep up their constitution, but we, very huge diversified country, the second populated country in the world, we are maintaining our constitution, we are completely standing, we are completely abiding by our constitution. That is one of the greatness of our constitution. This is how our constitution has been written. Okay, now next if we go to further aspects. So first they have given August offers, not accepted. Cripps mission plan, not accepted. Wavell plan, not accepted. Cabinet mission plan was accepted by both INC and Muslim League. So based on cabinet mission plan, we framed our constitution. The total strength allocated is 389. Next, so British controlled areas is 296. These are indirectly elected. So these are indirectly elected. Next, princely states is nothing but nomination. By whom means princes. Next, you can look at here British areas. So the entire country is divided into three groups: Muslims, Sikhs and general population. Same like Rajya Sabha, where we are having indirectly election. The members of Constituent Assembly are also indirectly elected by the people. That is, members of provincial legislative assemblies have only participated in the elections to the Constituent Assembly. That is why it is called as indirect body. Next, so 296 members elections out of, see, because 296 elections, INC has got 208, Muslim League 73, independent candidates got 15. So with respect to party wise performance also I have given you. Okay, now next, in this 296, 292 seats were for British provinces and 4 seats are for Chief Commissioner provinces. So first meeting December 9th, second meeting, in this meeting what is the importance? Sachidananda Sinha was made as the temporary president following the French tradition based on the seniority. Okay, how many people present on this session? 211 members present on this session. Next, second session, December 11th, 1946, Dr. Rajendra Prasad made as the president, H.C. Mukherjee as vice president. Next, children, just repeat along with me. Meeru kuda already winner kada. So whatever the thing I am saying, you just repeat these things. And next, what happened? V.T. Krishnamacharya as the vice president. Next, December 13, 1946, what is the important? Jawaharlal Nehru have introduced what? Objective resolution. And this is the source for what? Preamble. And when did it got passed? January 22, 1947. Next, Mountbatten Plan, when did it came? June 3rd, 1947. Later on, slowly, princely states started adding or participating in the Constituent Assembly. Say, name the first princely states who got added in the Constituent Assembly. Banaras, Bikaner, Patiala, Rewa, Jaipur, Udaipur. Next, so then after, so yes, they have met and they have came together. So now they came to a conclusion. So these are the members, we have known to each other. Then they started dividing their tasks. So they went to how many countries? 60 countries. How much did it cost? 64 lakhs. How much did it took? 2 years, 11 months, 18 days. How many sessions? 11 sessions. How many times did they read? 3 times. So what are the dates? 1948 November 4th, then November 15th, and 1949 November 14th is the final reading. Next, so most of the provisions we have borrowed from Government of India Act, 60% almost. Next, from the UK, what are the provisions? Parliamentary system, rule of law, single citizenship. Next, United States of America, Supreme Court, judicial review, fundamental rights, vice president post, president's removal, and supreme commander of the armed forces, public interest litigation. Next, from USSR, fundamental duties and justice. Ireland, DPSP. South Africa, amendment of the constitution procedure. Germany, cancellation of fundamental rights during the national emergency. Canada, federal features, residuary powers. Australia, joint sitting, concurrent list. And also from France, liberty, equality, fraternity was taken from France, and from Japan, procedure established by law. So liberty, equality, fraternity from which country? France country. And from Japan, what have we borrowed? Procedure established by law was taken from the Japan. Next, committees. They got divided into some minor committees and some major committees. Union Powers Committee and Constitution Powers Committee. States Committee, Jawaharlal Nehru. Advisory Committee on Fundamental Rights and Minorities, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Committee, so Subcommittee on Fundamental Rights and Subcommittee on Minorities. So Subcommittee on Fundamental Rights who? J.B. Kripalani. Subcommittee on Minorities is H.C. Mukherjee. Next, so Tribal Affairs Committee, Gopinath Bardoli. Drafting Committee Chairman, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. And who are the other members? K.M. Munshi, Gopalaswamy Iyengar, Krishnaswamy Iyer, Syed Muhammad Shadullah, Madhav Rao, T.T. Krishnamachari. So name the persons who were there since beginning, 5 members. Who were got it recently? Madhav Rao and Krishnamachari. In whose place Madhav Rao came? Mitter. Krishnamachari came in whose place? Kaitan. Next, minor committees. Ad hoc Committee on National Flag, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Supreme Court, Varadachari. Next, functions of Constituent Assembly, G.V. Mavalankar. Business Committee, K.M. Munshi. Credentials Committee, Krishnaswamy Iyer. Linguistic Provinces Committee, S.K. Dar. House Committee, Pattabi Sitaramaya. Next, so 1947 August 14th, Pakistan got divided. Which places came into the hands of Pakistan? Northwest Frontier Province, Sindh, Baluchistan, East Pakistan, West Punjab, Shailet. In 389, 1947 August 15th, 389 came down to 299. So total 229. And the other thing is princely states. 70 members are from the princely states. Next, 1947 August 15th, Constituent Assembly got 2 important duties. So first one is as usual to frame the constitution. Second one is to administer the country. When they came together to frame the constitution, Rajendra Prasad used to preside. When they came together to discuss the administrative aspects, G.V. Mavalankar used to present. So he is called as the first speaker of the independent India. So from 1947 to 1952, the government which went on, we call that as a interim government. Next is what? November 26th we have adopted, but that came into existence in 1950 January 26th to remember Purna Swaraj. And important aspects. So July 22nd, national flag was borrowed. January 24th, national anthem and national song, and Rajendra Prasad was made as the president. Elephant symbol, B.N. Rao is the constitutional advisory, written in both English and Hindi languages. Okay, so this is how we framed our constitution. And finally, there is something in a few points. There are certain criticisms. There are certain criticisms against the Indian Constituent Assembly. The first one is nothing but it is a non-sovereign body. The first one is nothing but it is not a sovereign body. Why it is not a sovereign body? Because the constitution did not framed when we are independent. The constitution was framed when Britishers are ruling India. So they left India in August 15th, 1947. But from 1946, the Constituent Assembly came. So the Constituent Assembly formed under the British rule. That is why it is criticized by few people as a non-sovereign body. And it is not directly elected, because most of all the people were indirectly elected or nominated but not directly elected. So this is also a criticism. And the third one is borrowed constitution. We have borrowed most of the provisions from different countries. Because of that also, most of the people will say Indian constitution is a borrowed constitution. And the next thing, it is said that it is a lawyer's paradise. What it is said that? It is said as lawyer's paradise. Why it is? Because almost all 75% of the Constituent Assembly members are lawyers. When they are lawyers, they try to remove each and every conflict, each and every controversy. They want to bring more clarity to the constitution. So that is why, so the constitution has become more bulky and it is called as lawyer's paradise. And the another criticism is it is Hindu dominant. So what is it said that? It is Hindu dominated group. So most of the people are belonging to which community? That is Hindu. But still it has represented from different sections of the people. Okay, so this is the criticism. So I have also discussed with you what kind of questions can be asked, and the questions can also be asked what are the criticisms of the Constituent Assembly. What are the criticisms of the Constituent Assembly? That can also be asked. Okay, so these are the provisions which we have read so far. Okay, now so that's it for this lecture. Hope you have liked this lecture. So chudandi, if I go fastly, you can put it in a slow manner. స్లోగా వెళ్తే ఫాస్ట్గా పెట్టుకోండి. వినిపించకపోతే అర్థం అవ్వకపోతే మళ్ళీ వినండి. ట్రై టు రైట్ ఏ రన్నింగ్ నోట్స్. నేను మీకు హ్యాండ్ రిటన్ మెటీరియల్ కూడా ఇచ్చాను. సో ట్రై టు ఫాలో ఇట్ కేర్ఫుల్లీ అండ్ ఆల్ ది బెస్ట్. థ్యాంక్ యూ గైస్.